Okay. In the weather class, it's a muscle-driven industry. So we're going to have to find the animal that's showing the most amount of muscle, that when it hangs on that rail, it's going to yield the highest amount of meat for me. And so it's to your advantage if you can teach that animal to brace, because that's going to show up its muscle. That's going to show up that hind leg and how much muscle he's got saturated. You want to show me the length of loin, because that's where the goat chops are going to come from. You want to show me some muscling in that foreleg. Then you want to show me some extension in that neck. The neck meat is the sweetest meat. It's highly desirable. And that's why, if you noticed, I was asking some of these exhibitors to pull the ears up so that I can just see the neck and how complete it is. And so we're going to go with the animal that just shows us the most amount of meat today. He shows a solid amount of meat up front, through that neck, out over the top. He shows me length and depth of loin. He shows me muscles down that leg and on that inner thigh. Just a really, really nice wether to win this class for you. My wether in second, he's just a little shorter couple, so he's not going to have the same amount of length of loin, but a wether that shows us width in that chest for us, shows us some width to that neck for me, extension in that front leg. He shows us some muscle down into that stifle. Again, a really nice wether, just a little shorter couple, so he's not going to have the same amount of loin that the wether ahead of him has. Okay, when we come into this wether, again a wether that shows us some length of body. He doesn't have quite the same bone to muscle that some of the other wethers had. He's not showing us that extreme amount of muscling on that inner thigh and down into that stifle. But certainly a wether that has a lot of potential. And again, as we come into this next wether, the wether that again shows us a lot of potential, we'd just like to see him start with more width at the top of that shoulder, follow it on back. He shows us length of loin. He just doesn't have as much depth of loin, not as much muscle on that inner side. And as I come to the next two animals that are just lighter in their muscle pattern and in their style, and so it's going to be harder for them to compete with the overall other wethers. So give them all a great big round of applause.
Next up, we're going to have another division of the market goats. We're going to have Braxton Pratt, Lydia Foose, Imaris Oliver, Sandra Grawl, and Jamie Benton are going to be in our next class. I'd like to thank some of our sponsors for this event: Hilltop Animal Hospital, Gray Family, Glenwood State Bank, Mills, Montgomery County Corn Growers, Walter Family, Goats & Co., Benton Beef, and B&B Ranch. And once again, our presenters in the ring for this one are going to be Braxton Pratt, Lydia Foose, Imaris Oliver, Cassandra Grawl, and Jamie Benton. And don't forget, folks, tonight at 7, motocross. And again, folks, this is your Market Goats class. And this is Braxton Pratt, Lydia Foos, Emerson Oliver, Cassandra Grawl, and Jamie Benton are your presenters.
Okay, we're going to start with the weather that just shows us more bone to muscle ratio. A weather that when you analyze him in that chest floor, he shows more width. He shows a lot of capacity in that neck area for us. And then when you handle him out over the top, he starts to stop that shoulder with a straight rib design. comes right on back into a full hip that shows us a lot of length and depth of loin. He's showing us a lot of depth to that twist, muscle on that inner thigh and down that leg. Just a really nice weather to win this class. The polka dot weather follows him very close in type and kind. The polka dots kind of give you an illusion. You know, when you look at him, you think, well, maybe he's not as long-bodied as he really truly is. Maybe he's not as heavily muscled because of the break up in the pattern. But when you handle him down over that top, he shows me a lot of length and depth to that loin, muscle on that inner thigh, down into that stifle, great bone to muscle. I really appreciate the width he carries in that chest floor, the expression he has in that neck. And then as we come into this weather, again a weather that's showing us a lot of strength about himself, correctness on his feet and leg. He doesn't have the same bone to muscle as the two weathers ahead of him, but he certainly has a lot of strength in that top. When you handle him out over the rear, he's showing us a lot of muscle in that round, down into that stifle and on that inner thigh. Really good cut for meat, just a really nice weather for this young lady. Then as we come down into this weather, a weather that again shows us a lot of correctness about himself. He just doesn't start with the same amount of width at the top of that shoulder. He doesn't show us quite as much length and depth in that loin. When you get to the hip, he's just not quite as wide in that hip, not nearly heavily muscled on the inner thigh and down into the stifle. But a nice weather. When you come to the paint weather that shows us a lot of style and design, he's just not nearly as expressive in his muscle out over that top as some of the weathers ahead of him. I do appreciate his bone to muscle better than some of the ones that were ahead of him, but he's just not carrying as much meat on that inner thigh and down into that stifle. And then another polka dot that we really like the looks of this animal, but when you handle him over the top, he's just not nearly as expressive in his muscle pattern. When you get on that inner thigh and down that side leg, he's not carrying as much muscle as some of the others. So let's give them all a great big round of applause.
Congratulations. Next up in the same class, we'll have Jolie Johnson and Cassandra Grawl. Thanks to our sponsors, Hilltop Animal Hospital, Gray Family, Glenwood State Bank, Mills and Montgomery County Corn Growers Association, Paul Mellencamp Memorial, Walter Family, Goats & Co., Benton Beef and B&B Ranch, Paul Mellencamp Memorial, 4-H Friends, Heartland Co-op, and like I said, our presenters in this one are going to be Jolie Johnston and Cassandra Grawl.
Thanks, but
Baron, in a few, not here. Okay?
We have two heavyweight weathers here. We're going to actually start with the heavier weather. He's just showing more depth to that twist, more muscle on that inner thigh, more length to that loin. Just a really, really nice weather to win this class. The weather in second is very close in type and time, but just gives up in the amount of depth of twist and amount of muscle that he's carrying on the inner thigh. Two really nice weathers. Give them both a big round of applause.
Congratulations to our participants. At this time, we're going to have Market Goats champion, and reserve champion. This is going to be the Market Goat champion and reserve champion. And thanks to some of our sponsors, Don Blezick Memorial, Goats & Co., Mills County Fair Board, Triple F Farms, Barrett Heating and Air Conditioning, Newmeister Family, Heartland Co-op, and 4-H Friends. And don't forget tonight, folks, is 7 o'clock motocross.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Stop, Baron.
And this is the picking of our champion Market Goat and our reserve champion Market Goat. Up next, we will have Showmanship Junior, Goat Showmanship Junior.
Okay, we're going to use weather that shows the balance, the weather that shows me the amount of muscling on that inner thigh, the more depth of twist, more muscling in that foreleg, more width of chest. Just a really, really nice, phenomenal weather. And actually, this time I'm going to go out and slap him on the hip.
Hang on a second, let me get up.
Congratulations to our grand champion market goat and reserve champion market goat. And thank you to our sponsors for that, Don Bleasick Memorial, Judy Bleasick, Agriland, Mills and Montgomery County Corn Growers Association, and Triple F Farms. Thank you to our sponsors. Congratulations to our grand champion and reserve champion.
Which one? Dave Murray.
Up next is going to be our junior goat showmanship. Our presenters are going to be Penny Bobin, Bentley Lynn, Braylon Myers, Emerson Oliver, Braxton Pratt, Danielle Reed, and Jensen Wilson.
Are you just gonna start running when you? Oh, very nice. That's awesome. Can you go put that in the car? I gotta show you. Okay, go.
And this is our junior showmanship class. Thank you to our sponsors for this event, the Don Bleasick Memorial, Goats & Co., Mills County Fair Board, Triple F Farms, Barrett Heating and Air Conditioning, Newmeister Family, Agriland, Heartland Co-op, 4-H Friends. And don't forget tonight, folks, 7 o'clock motocross.
But ultimately, I think it's your call. Like you said,
Right now,
that's what I said. So, and I haven't said to know yet. So she told me we've always we've never said I need to know who so that I can like cite that as an example.
It's always in my back pocket. I'm just tearing out like every day, so I don't.
Don't lose it.
Flip through
Yeah.
50 pages.
Need like little taps next to it. Okay, well, I will pass that message along. I'm gonna start a new thread. And I will go for it. So, because I was on my way down, I was like, FYI. Sounds good.
Okay.
Well, we're almost halfway through. Nope, we're almost. Are you good otherwise? Have you eaten?
And this is our junior goat showmanship class. Presenters are Penny Bobin, Bentley Lynn, Braylon Myers, Emerson Oliver, Braxton Pratt, Danielle Reed, and Jensen Wilson. Big thanks to our sponsors, Hilltop Animal Hospital, Gray Family, Glenwood State Bank, Mills and Montgomery County Corn Growers Association, Paul Mellencamp Memorial, Walter and Family, Goats & Co., Benton Beef, and B&B Ranch, Paul Mellencamp Memorial. And this is our junior goat showmanship class. And our presenters are Penny Bobin, Bentley Lynn, Braylon Myers, Emerson Oliver, Braxton Pratt, Daniel Reed, and Jensen Wilson. And thank you to our sponsors of the Don Bleason Memorial Goats & Co., Mills County Fair Board, and Triple F Farms. Oh, it's up to you.
But I didn't know if you want to more place. Or sometimes they want 4 or 5. Okay, this is a learning process. And so, one of the things you always want to remember is that you need to keep the animal between you and the judge at all times. So when I walk on the other side of you, you need to immediately get on the other side of your animal so that the goat is always between me and you. And then showmanship is your turn to shine. It's more about you and your ability to show an animal than it is about the animal itself. So you always want to present that animal as best as you can to make it look really sharp and just stand out. And as we're evaluating now, you can see a couple individuals that maybe didn't do a few things right, but they're displaying their animal more than some of the others. And if you're fighting with your animal all the time, that's not a good thing. You need to work with them ahead of time at home and plan that you're going to be at the show on this day, and that animal needs to leave and that animal needs to work with you, and you need to be able to present your animal as good as you can. So having said that, I think we all have the opportunity to grow and challenge and change just a little bit in our ways of doing things and showing. But our first place champion showman will be this young lady right here. And this young lady will be your reserve. Give them all a great big round of applause.
Congratulations to our participants. Next up, we have intermediate goat showmanship. Intermediate goat showmanship. After these showmanship classes, we will have the rate of gain classes. So if you're a participant, start making your way up this way. Thank you. This is the intermediate showmanship class. Our presenters are Stella Mayberry, Ava Moracle, Lillian Parker. Thank you to some of our sponsors, Newmeister Family, Heartland Co-op, 4-H Friends, Hilltop Animal Hospital, Gray Family, Glenwood State Bank, Mills of Montgomery County, Corn Growers Association, and Paul Mellencamp Memorial. This is our intermediate showmanship class. Our presenters are Stella Mayberry, Ava Moracle, Lillian Parker. Thanks to some of our sponsors, Hilltop Animal Hospital, Gray Family, Glenwood State Bank, Triple F Farms, Barrett Heating and Air, Newmeister Family, Heartland Co-op, 4-H and Friends, and don't forget tonight at 7 we have motocross.
Thorough.
Did you see my text about what all the stuff you guys need to get your stuff ready? That get it in order. Because come right now. Go home with me. They have caches, messes, and dogs out and that stuff. You have to be a worker. 11:30, which means by the time you guys get your crap done, it's gonna be 12:30. You tell me, are they, have you written these stuff? Probably just write that down, make sure it works. Well, that- Throw a filter G85, write it, make sure it runs okay.
Okay, you spent all summer with your project, but you're only going to be in the ring for just a few minutes. And so you have to be able to display your animal as quickly as you can for the judge to evaluate that animal. And so the exhibitor that's going to win this is the one that I felt like they could get their animal positioned more correctly and show it off just a little bit quicker than some of the others. That'll be this young lady right here. And this young lady will be your reserve. Give them all a great big round of applause. Good job.
Congratulations to all the participants of the intermediate showmanship class. Thank you to our sponsors, Don Gleason Memorial, Goats & Co., Mills County Fair Board, Triple F Farms, Barrett Heating and Air Conditioning, Newmeister Family, Heartland Co-op, 4-H and Friends. Don't forget tonight at 7 motocross. I'm sorry, at 6 tonight motocross. And next up, we have our senior goat showmanship class. Next up, the senior goat showmanship class. After that, we'll have the rate of gain class. Our presenters in this class are going to be Lydia Foose, Jolie Johnston, Maximus Parker, and Jamie Vinton. This is our senior goat showmanship class. Our presenters are Lydia Foos, Jolie Johnston, Maximus Parker, Jamie Benton. Sponsors are Hilltop Animal Hospital, Gray Family, Glenwood State Bank, Mills and Montgomery County Corn Growers Association, and the Paul Mellencamp Memorial. And this is our senior goat showmanship class. Presenters are Lydia Foos, Jolie Johnson, Maximus Parker, Jamie Vinton, and after this we'll have our rate of gain. So if you're participating in that, please make your way out.
Okay, this is a little tough for our seniors. They're a little more polished, a little more practiced, but it still comes down to what you learned about showing and your intentions on showing, what you like and dislike about your animal, and your ability to show, your ability to shine, your ability to get that animal out there and let the judge evaluate it to the best of its ability. And so I picked my top person, but then the second and third were kind of pretty even, pretty balanced. So it came down to looking one last time, and I just felt the one individual just made her animal present just a little better. So give them all a big round of applause. This will be your champion. Reserve was between you two, but when the last thing, you kind of turn around to the right side.
We have the rated.
Congratulations to our